Clash of Clans podcast, OG, episode 87. And welcome back to the podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Scotty827, joined by the Wookie, fresh from Alderaan, Chewie, Papa Chewie. How's it going, man? Welcome back.
Hey, thanks for having me, Scotty. I'm good. I'm very good. It's been a while since we've talked.
Did you notice I didn't screw up the introduction this time? Or even like
I did,
I mean,
and
I've come a long way.
you have, yeah. Because I have to be honest. I was very fearful after some of your recent guests.
Oh my
I
God.
was, and I think I was the chewiest of the chewy last time.
Chewiest
So
of the
yeah, it
Chewie,
was
fresh
definitely
from Alderaan.
yeah.
But then I was
Yeah.
thinking about, wasn't the
No, but this was good. This was good.
Alderaan was that? I remember sending you that image of the
Yeah.
Alderaan playset, which is just a bag of
Oh yeah.
rocks, right? Like
Tiger
that.
Rocks. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. How are things going? Welcome back to the podcast. I'm excited to talk to you about this. We couldn't shut up beforehand and basically just had to start talking.
Yeah, which is no, it's good. Like I said, I'm happy to be on. It's been it's been indeed. It's been quite a long time, I think, and
It's been about a year, I think.
I think so, almost. Yeah.
So where are
So it's
you? How many accounts have you gained accounts, I should say, since the last time we spoke?
yes and no. So
I thought I saw a
it's
couple names, different names, but
yeah, no, there's different names. So what I've done is I think in total now, if I go to Angry Wookiees, there's like 19 accounts in it. And I think there was only like 15 the last time we spoke. So in technically I have more accounts, but I'm hardly playing on any of them. So what it did was I think around about, so I took a bit of a break, right? So I kind of had to stop playing I think it was around about May time.
yeah, that's right.
I was basically given doctor's order to stop playing Clash. No, to avoid anything that would overstrain my eyes. I was having a lot of headaches, and I was having problems with sleeping back then, and there was a lot of stuff going on. And we sorted all that out, which was good. But I ended up not playing for a while, and then I think I decided to take a proper break because I was getting a bit fed up, to be honest, with the game. And I then went away, and I kind of like hung out just in my own clan for, I think it was like 3 months or something. It was like quite a while.
Where all the popular kids hang out.
Because yeah, exactly. It was just me and my 14 other friends called Chewie. And I did that for a while, but I wasn't really playing on the accounts that much, just on a couple of them. And then after my holiday in the summer, I decided that I was gonna try, and I think I wanted to do like a clan war league just on my own, just to give it a go, because I'd never really done it before. And then I did that for like a couple of months in a row, and
How'd it go?
which was great.
You won?
Yeah, and I did like all yeah, yeah, I won. I think I won once, and then I think I got promoted. No, I didn't. I almost got promoted. I then got promoted, and then I got demoted because I did it a third time in December.
What league is
Um,
Angry Wookiees in? Because we were warring there. Weren't we doing CWLs
we
last year?
were, and yeah, exactly. And it's now at Crystal 1, I think. So it was up in Masters 3. I'd got it somehow into Masters 3. I don't know how I managed to do that. And it's now in Crystal 1. In Masters 3, I was just getting wrecked because like my highest
Yeah.
town hall was, it was December. So I had like a couple of 17s, and then the rest are like 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, and 11, So of course I lost it's like 70-80% of the attacks were less than 3 star. Oh no, that's not true. I think half my attacks were 3 stars, half attacks were 2 stars, but then I was getting like 8 or 9 10 3-stars against me, so I had no chance of staying up.
So
But it was no, it was good fun. But yeah,
have
but
you?
then what I'd noticed, because I was playing, so I was playing more with them rather than my main account, mostly because of the fact that I hadn't really been enjoying, I guess, the where the meta was going when I had stopped playing, or when I kind of stepped away from playing back in May.
They
And
took your
I was
hogs.
trying, and then they did, yeah. And funnily enough, on all the lower accounts, and Warpig's gonna laugh so much when he hears this, considering how much abuse I used to give him. I was playing with dragons the entire time. Oh dear. And I have to admit, I've kind of sort of turned into a bit of an air fan now.
Wow,
And that was the only
an
reason.
air Wookie.
Yeah, I know. A networky, yeah, and that was actually what I was using. Well, I was using Dragon Rider, so they're kind of sort of a bit like Super Hogs. I mean, they target defenses as well. So, and I figured out I could use them in a similar way as I was using my Super Hogs before. So I was enjoying things before Town Hall 18 came along. And that's when I think I came back to you guys as well, because I said, you know what, I'm playing a bit more now. I'm a bit more enthusiastic, and I think I came back to
Yeah.
L or L2.
Like,
I want to say just when 18 dropped.
yeah,
I
that's what
think
I was
that's. I
thinking.
think I
Like
said I was going to
November.
come across then.
I was gonna say, yeah,
Yeah.
like November or something like that. Uh, before I ask about the Town Hall 18 thing, have you noticed in how many CWLs? I guess I should say. Have you run consecutively in Angry Wookiees?
Oh,
I mean, has it been like it's every month?
I did October, November, December. They were the 3 months.
Okay, so you haven't done
I
it
did one
recently.
in, yeah.
I was just
No, no,
curious
no, no, not too many.
as to others' experience on like it almost seems like the CWL matches could be are like mixed up a little bit, at some of those like levels. I don't know if there's like maybe just clans like pushing up finally or doing something like that too, but I was kind of wondering if there's been like a change, um, or if you've seen anything different in CWL. I'm just thinking of like,
Well, I can, yeah.
yeah,
But
sorry, like
in
just the
terms of the makeup of the
matchups,
clans, or
the
oh, in
matchups.
terms of the matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell you that it's so. I did 15 verses, 'cause 30 verses. I don't have enough accounts for. But uh, and Crystal One. So I did Crystal One for 2 seasons, and was second and first. And that was, and what I noticed then, and this was just up in the lead up to Town Hall 18 coming out, right? So Town Hall 18 came out around, I think, just after the CWL season finished in November. And Crystal One was mostly made up of, I think, few Town Hall 17s, so the clans I was going against. And then the rest were like 16, 15, 14, 13. So it pretty much matched what I had, because I think at that time I updated a bunch of my accounts during the Hammer Jam. When It's
Oh
also what kind
yeah.
of got me a bit more enthusiastic. I thought, no,
Rapid
I'm gonna go mad.
progress.
And yeah, exactly. So I think my lowest account at the time was 11, and that was a 13 after Hammer Jam. And all my 15s went 16, my 14s went to 15, etc. And I think 4 accounts went 17. So I breezed it through then the November one, because I had more 17s or 16s. And I can two-star pretty much any account with a Town Hall 13. Doesn't really matter, because of Sneaky Goblins. That's the best way to get a 2-star.
Really?
So yeah, they're still. I don't understand. I know people don't like using them. I know it's kind of seen as sort of cheating a little bit, because it's a farming troop, but it's so easy to get a. I mean, it's a
They'll never
51%
see you
2-star.
coming.
No, exactly. And the amount of times people leave the town hall bases in the perfect position just to put a wall breaker in, 7 sneaky goblins, and you got your first star. and then you just need to pick off the buildings, right? So
Oh yeah.
it's very, very easy. But no, but what I was going to say was in December. So, and I know it's a higher league, but what I noticed in December was that because I was in L2 with you guys,
Yeah.
they were in Masters 3, right? So I was in
Yeah.
Masters 3 in L2, and I was in Masters 3 in Angry Wookiees, and I had a harder lineup in Angry Wookiees than I did in, I think, in L2.
Really?
Um, yeah, it was. I had a really suddenly there were just like a huge amount of 18s, so it was like definitely a big step up. Um, but I've noticed that with L2 as well. But I had 15. I think I did a 15 versus, and I think we did a 30 versus in L2. And then January we went down to the 15 because we did the 30 war.
Yeah.
And I know the guys really struggled at the 15 versus. So I think 30 versus tends to be, a bit more a bit more spread out with town halls.
Yeah.
But definitely, yeah, definitely the 15 versus was really tough in Masters 3 that I found anyway. So,
Yeah. It I
but
kind of think it was like
but I
that's
wonder
you
if that's
speaking to
yeah,
like a little bit like it just seemed like you'd look at one match and it just would seem really really strong. Like maybe you
yeah.
shouldn't be here kind of thing, or just a little bit of a wild card maybe.
Yeah, that's possible. I mean, we had what was it? I had the one season where I came second. The guys that won it demolished everybody, and this was down in Crystal One. This is when I came second
Wow.
in Crystal One, and but that was obviously that was a clan that had decided they had all like 17s back then, um, which was just ridiculous in Crystal One. You're thinking, and
Yeah.
and they were. It wasn't just 17s that were rushed. They were all very strong 17s. So I get the feeling like there's probably a lot of higher level clans which they must occasionally be trying to
Level
what
up.
is it? Yeah, level up because I can't remember who it was. Maybe Tyler mentioned it before, and I've definitely heard this on other podcasts where people have said, yeah, if you can start a clan up with high level accounts. Um, and if you then go into clan war leagues with those high level accounts in the clan, then even though it's your first season, you start quite high up.
Oh really?
But I think they must have, yeah, because it's a way of kind of gaming the system a bit. If you've got all town hall 18s, they're not going to put you down in what silver or gold league. But I don't think you can get higher than, or I'm guessing you can't get higher than probably Crystal, because
Okay.
then that would be sort of unfair, which would then explain why all of a sudden there was this clan with nothing but Town Hall
Yeah.
18 Legend League players
Yeah.
going
That
off against my little
that
mixed clan.
makes complete sense. Really, like when you like that would explain why that explain a lot. That makes yeah. Okay. Yeah, wow. Like underneath the hood.
Yeah, so
Like wow, okay, yeah. I could see exactly why it explained exactly what I was seeing and it's not even how it's hard to like explain cuz it's just kind of like random, but that also that might be something good to think about with other
mm,
clans. Although how many do you really need? Like total, but now with the
yeah,
5v5, like if you thought about start a brand new clan, 5v5, 518s go in, boom, it starts up further up the line and then um you could really kind of build out your rosters way better cuz like El Warborn, if you start at the bottom, that's like what 6 months just to hit masters, would that be right?
yeah,
Yeah, 6 months to hit
yeah. I
masters.
think so.
So you think about
Exactly.
starting a new clan or starting to say, okay, we got to overfill on this, or some CWLs, it's like it'd just be easier to do 15s maybe, or just with the different sizes. I don't know, but um, something to think about, I guess. I had no idea about that.
Yeah, because I know, what is it? There's the because I'd known a little bit about the concept before, because there is this. Have you ever heard of the term lazy CWL?
No,
Okay, so I came across
of
this when I
course not.
was.
Just
No, of course not.
kidding.
No, yeah, isn't that how we do every
Yeah,
CWL?
yeah,
Um, uh, yeah, so a lazy CWL follows this idea that you go set up a clan with all your best accounts. Your normal clan, you're just aiming to either stay in the same league for the month without these hype, these top players, or you just skip for a month. Sometimes they'll skip for a month. But the idea then is you have a second clan set up, which is goes into CWL, and it is itself pretty high level. And you go in there with your top players, but you go in there with your top players and you go in there with lower players. And then the idea is the lower players can then just hit and get a load of medals. And they call it like I think a lazy CWL, because the idea isn't that you're going to stay where you are. The idea is that that your lower accounts can then just go and hit how they would hit just to get their 8 stars, and they'll get massive bonuses, whereas usually they wouldn't get those kind of bonuses.
yeah,
So it's a way of kind of giving lower accounts the opportunity to do well, and for the higher accounts as well. So they'll take a dip maybe in their medals for 1 month, but it's like, okay, fine, it's a dip for 1 month, and then they go back to the main clan, and then the next month I think they then hit pro normal. So I'm probably saying it slightly wrong, but
no,
it seems to be a good way of dealing with this idea that you've got. And I mean, we were talking about it earlier, right? That you've got so many players, right? And you've only got so many spaces in your
yeah,
clan, and you don't really want to send them to a clan that's like 2 leagues down. Well, for the sake of 1 month of, okay, yeah, our best. Now it's even now it's easier, right? So it's not even now our best 15 go and start up a new clan.
yeah,
We just put 5 Town Hall 18s in a new clan, and then the next month, well, you suddenly got what you've got: a Crystal One clan, maybe even a Masters 3. If they promote, those 5 will do their attacks. They'll promote to, say, Masters 3, and now you've got a Masters 3 clan that you can send all your Town Hall 17s to, Town Hall 16s to, if you want. So you can be like
we
uber competitive, and you know,
we
or
could
just
get,
get the medals. They can just get the medals. That's the point. They don't even have to win.
yeah,
You know what I mean? They
yeah,
just go in, and now they're getting like 200 and something medals just for getting 8 stars. Is the idea. That's why it's called lazy. You're doing it not to win or even stay in the league. You're doing it just to get the high medals. And if they get demoted, the next month you send your 5 18s again, get them promoted again. And obviously, if they get enough wins, they can rotate out and things. So yeah,
yeah,
it's an option anyway.
and it's the
Because some
it,
clans
and we
do.
were kind of talking about this before too. It's like it's I don't think about it as a hierarchy, right? Like
Yeah,
with the clan, it's more about spots. But of course, it kind of does work out as a hierarchy if you're trying to like figure out there's only the 15 and the one, and you're trying to do it. So for like as I think as we talk about it, it is more about moving people into the right ranges that we're doing it. So like this CWL, we kind of went through it, and then it kind of looked like the 16s and 16s would be in L2, but then all of a sudden it's a little bit bigger, and so we'd move those to L Warborn, and then but then it's also like lower metals, right, and like lower resources. So it would be nice
Yeah.
to have something to just easily accommodate, like without waiting 6 months. Because that's like 3 more months away. But like I had mentioned to you before, like a hit squad. I just didn't realize we could like the hit squad would be like um, could get it so close without like I was thinking a 6 month hit squad kind of thing
Yeah, yeah,
once it
exactly.
got
And
going. But
yeah, so I think yeah, so that might be. I think that'd be something worth. Wow, is it something worth doing? I mean, it's a great way to give
it's an option.
players who aren't as yeah, who aren't as competitive an option, right?
Yeah.
Because like I said, the idea isn't then that they maintain in the league they're in. It doesn't matter if they get relegated one league, because you can always, like I said, the next month you can put some higher players over just to make sure they don't get demoted twice,
Do you,
or even to promote them. But it's that players get more medals.
yeah.
So the players that because like I said, anyone can get 8 stars.
Right.
Even if you like, if you sneaky goblin 7 attacks, you're guaranteed 12 stars. Let's say there's 2 1 stars because there's an incredibly difficult town hall. So as a town hall, what 15, 14, even a 14, because we did this in Warborn as well when I was helping the guys out, and I had my town hall 13s over to make up the numbers, and they hit the town hall 17s or 18s, whichever were the top ones, and they were 2 starring every single time. And maybe I might have dropped 1 star once, but the idea is then just to get to 8 stars, and then you're done,
Hmm.
right? So it's for those players that aren't. They don't want to necessarily do a lot of war attacks, but they'd like the medals because it helps them progress.
I
That's what the lazy CWL is for.
I did wonder. Um, I don't know if we'd be able to if it's a big fish, small pond, small pond, small pond, small pond, big fish, or a big pond, small fish
Big
kind of thing.
pond, small fish.
Because like if
Yeah.
you're an L, the and you're maybe just let's say you're a 17 or like if you're not one of the top 9 attackers like in that war whatever the number is that month, you're not going to get the bonus medals. But
Yeah.
like if you have a smaller war with the and so that you're got the lower town halls that aren't getting kind of well, I guess they get kind of put into that um the stars and stuff too. But I think like on the list even it ranks the town hall the higher town halls higher, right? So
Yeah.
maybe you get more
Well,
opportunities for bonus medals um
yeah,
with a
that's
little bit,
true.
that way, even if the even if the league is a little bit lower. I'm not sure though because I'd have to, right?
Yeah, and I'm trying to think because they've also changed the amount of medals you get, bonus medals you get as part of the update. So because they've now added 5v5, right?
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, so the way, well, hang on. Okay. First of all, the way that the bonus medals used to work is you'd get 1 bonus medal per war that you would win, with on top of a certain base amount. And I think the base amount was always tied to whichever set of leagues you were in. So if you're in Masters, I think maybe the base was possibly 3, I think, 2 or 3.
Okay.
And then for every war you would then get like an extra. So it must be 2 because I think the most I've ever seen is 9 bonus medals to be given out. Um, so they're going to, but that was the same. I think that was maybe slightly higher if it was 30 versus 30, than 15 versus 15. But they've changed it. So they've changed things around now, so that you get definitely more. They said you get more now, like a higher base now if you do 30 versus 30. But for
Okay.
5 versus 5, I think there's like no base. It's like a 0 base amount, and then you get a bonus per war that you win. So if you get 5 wins, then you get 5 bonuses, right? So then everyone
Yeah.
gets a bonus basically. So it makes that a little bit more interesting.
Do,
And then yeah, so then that's maybe also a good reason, like you said, to maybe have more options, right?
Yeah.
Because
You'd be able to
even if
spike
you
TH levels, like, honestly, like
well,
16s or 17s.
you could, exactly, and I mean, especially if you're starting the clans up, and there isn't a huge amount of difference between what is it, Crystal 3 and say Masters 1. I mean, there's obviously a difference, right? But Crystal 3 still gives over, I think it was over 200 Clan War League medals, which I thought was a lot. And with the bonus as well, right? Then you're
Yeah.
talking a guaranteed 2 hammers a month, which I think is
Get
I think is
hammered.
more than enough. I mean,
Get hammered twice a month.
yeah, exactly. I mean, you can only I think most of us can only cope with that, but it's definitely a good return.
do you think do you think it would, like, with CWL in champs now, and I'm not super familiar with champs. Um, I would imagine though
Oh,
that
so you're asking me?
yeah. Well, you probably know the scene.
There you go.
Do you? I would
Go on.
imagine, like, if I had my crystal ball, I would say that champs clans are going to probably slim down to fives and probably have like um, a clan with 3 squads or something. Because,
No,
or you don't think
no,
so?
no. Well. First off, 5v5 isn't possible in champs.
Well, okay. I guess I should have read the fine print.
Yeah. No, it's okay. No, to be honest, I had the same thought as you, and I only found out because I don't know. I think I watched a YouTube short from probably from BD Legend or somebody, and they were confirming the impact of it. But yeah, so it's 5v5. The maximum is Masters 1, so like, for example, L could do it if they wanted to, but
Okay.
then if you only have 5, you have to then think about what you do with the other 25 Town Hall 18s. But yeah, so I think for Legends they're gonna leave as is, with the 15 verses, and which makes sense to me because if you're in if you're sorry, champions, not legends, champions. If you're there in champions, you're serious, right? You're serious about attacking. These are serious about maybe probably buying bases, and
Yeah.
uh, there's a reason why. I mean, you guys got into champions as well, and it was when you had probably the most focused 15 that you guys had, and you got back there as well. So you guys have been there twice now, right? I think
Yeah. Yeah,
what I remember.
yeah, I think so. It
Yeah,
yeah, that's what we went up, went down, went up, went
yeah,
down and stayed
and then
from
stayed.
last month.
Yeah,
They go so fast that it's like it's like a
yeah.
blur. Um
Yeah,
yeah, I
because I was
think
about to say, yeah, we're
ev-
in February, CWL, but we're not in
every time
CWL.
every time we get into champs, there's a big update and everything gets thrown upside down.
Yeah, the timing hasn't been good,
It's
right?
been
Yeah, you
yeah,
guys had
we've never been able
what
to
was it, the
hit it
Town
in
Hall
stride.
18?
Yeah, Town Hall
No,
18,
no.
and then there was the update
And then last
where
month you guys had oh no, 2 months ago. What was that? That was the one in Genesis where they wasn't that where
the
they,
thrower update, wasn't it? Or no, was that
oh
last
yeah, it
month?
was the thrower. No, no,
No,
no,
that was
that was
last month.
was that the last month with when suddenly the throwers,
I
because
think so.
they basically nerfed the meteor golems attack. And then
Yeah,
last month they then buffed the throwers.
it
Um,
yeah, it was
yeah,
it's like any time that there's like a
something like that.
major shift in the game where we kind of can whenever we've gotten to champs, it has been like you look at the bases that we've got that month and we say, I don't know if these are going to work. We don't know. Like we're just
Yeah.
gonna have to see because it's like something different with the meta that maybe one was the meteor golem, or did that come out?
I thought so.
Yeah,
Yeah, because well, obviously the Meteor Golem came out and was very, very popular. I think when you guys were, it was I thought you did December. You did December as a champs because I know January you ran a 30 versus
yeah,
in Masters One. You just got relegated, and then I thought then you promoted as part of that, and then
yeah.
you did your 15 versus in Feb in champ. No, no, I'm getting the months wrong. I
Yeah,
must
I
be
know. That's
because otherwise
I'm like
it's
trying to
going
remember.
It's
All I can remember is like
yeah,
where I'm at in the when things are going on, and I'm like, yeah, I think it was this. Oh yeah, that was
yeah,
this where I was really frustrated about this. Like right, it just happened. I think like when like I think I mentioned on the other, I'd only get frustrated about the updates when it is like deeply impacting a competition. Like that's when it's
yeah.
like and you kind of throw that stuff up. But I think this month though we were, I mean, we've had a lot of changes. This has
Yes,
been a month. I think it's ended on a high note with the Dragon Duke, right? For you?
I think. Yeah, I think it's great, um, a great release. I have to be honest. I was trying to think of the right word for it, but I was really disappointed there wasn't a new hero when Town Hall 18 dropped. Because I was expecting there to be one. To be honest,
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise, why make the hero hall changes that they made before that and then not keep adding new heroes? So I was glad. I'm really glad they've added it. I actually thought the way. Okay, I mean, the lead up to it was terrible. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been spoken about by you guys. By the way, were of course you hadn't seen anything last week, which cracked me up when I was listening to the podcast because,
Yeah.
you were like, "Yeah, we're going to hear the sneak peeks
Yeah.
coming out over the weekend," and of course there was the whole. Not, I don't want to say drama, but there was a lot of I think dissatisfaction amongst the content creator community because they weren't allowed to say anything except for yes,
Oh.
there will be a hero, but we can't show his stats, we can't show his abilities, we can only show you a picture. And that was it. So that was like sneak peek 3, I think, on the Sunday. And sneak
Okay.
peek 2, they actually covered, I think sneak peek 2 covered the changes that were already in the main Clash video on the Friday. It was the weirdest weekend, to be honest. I think
Yeah.
for a lot of the creators, but yeah, but then he came along. Was it
Last
Tuesday?
night.
So Tuesday they then started that. Well, yeah,
Oh,
he
Unleash the
came
Dragon
today, but
event, right?
exactly the event, and I thought that was cool. I thought
Yeah,
it
I
was a
thought it was pretty
really
cool.
cool way of sort of leading up to him because I was really thinking, geez, are they just going to release him? At least with the Minion Prince, we had like all the what was it, the Clashy style films. We had the podcast where he was investigating some crime,
Oh
etc.
yeah.
So that was really, it was like a really cool lead up. So I'm glad they did it the way they did it. I think it probably annoyed a lot of the creators because they couldn't
Like,
give they couldn't tell everybody about it up front.
yeah.
Um,
Well,
but it was no, I thought it was cool.
so you reminded me. So we recorded last on the day of the first sneak peek, and when I was editing this week, and I'm listening back, we got a bunch of stuff wrong. um, but there were a lot of things that came out of like in the sneak peeks that I think I would have if I would have edited a little bit earlier. Um, maybe they wouldn't have been right. Maybe, and I can't even think of any off the top of my head, but I would have just anticipated editing, thinking I got way more wrong. Hence the the title of
Did
the
you
episode.
did you yeah, did you not feel the temptation to like leave parts out when you were editing and go, okay, well this part was like,
The
or
defensive
did you actually
hero
leave
I
parts
thought
out?
was what the hell was I thinking? Like, why would they
Well,
do a defensive hero in the first place?
Yeah,
Yeah,
considering
like what
everybody
the heck?
was
Yeah,
complaining
yeah. I was like,
about the
why would I?
meta.
It was the
Yeah.
chains that got me. And so okay,
Nah,
but
that I can
here's the
understand.
thing. When we were when I was guessing at that, okay,
Yeah.
we hadn't seen a picture of the dragon Duke
Nope,
yet,
that's true.
and and this is, by the way, I didn't go looking for any leaks. These are things that popped up unbeknownst to me onto my TikTok feed. So I just saw,
Oh, yeah.
or no, I googled, because when the sneak peeks are coming out, sometimes you miss something. So it's like, I look for videos or if I want to do it, and I wanted to see if there was news, and I saw a picture of it, and so all I had to go on, or all we had to go on, was that picture. So like we hadn't even seen anything about the dragon. So all I knew at that point was I didn't even know if there was going to be a hero for sure. So I was actually very relieved that it was the dragon, and that it was,
Yeah.
because I thought afterwards, I'm like, God, this is going to be a real trash. Um, I'm going to sound like a real
Okay.
moron if it's like we just talked about the dragon and it was just a fake
This
picture.
brand new dragon hero. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Well, I mean, yeah, I thought it was because so they released the video on the Friday, and they had and they were going to the different doors, and of course the doors made sense then the following week.
yeah,
And then he's going into one of the doors, and then that little puppet of a baby dragon sticks his head out, and he goes, "Oh, wait, no, you're for March." So I thought, okay, they're going to do some big dragon event in March. So I was thinking, oh, cool, they're going to do, and it's set in a dungeon. The video is, so they're going to do like a Dungeons and Dragons,
yeah.
like collaboration or something. And then when they come to the end, and they're all cowering there, and you can hear what sounded like a dragon or something in the background, and there's all the change. So I just thought it was a collaboration on Friday. So even when and then of course I knew more when by the time that you guys did your record. Oh, sorry, that your recording dropped, because that was what, Thursday. Um, but I thought you were pretty spot on with knowing that there was going to be a hero. But I
Well, it
think
just felt like there.
someone spoiled it anyway by putting something in chat about the fact there was going to be a hero coming.
Yeah, well, and this is, in fairness too, it was, I saw that picture after they sent the first video about something big is coming or whatever. They're
Yeah,
like looking,
exactly.
and then, and so at that point, I think why I even searched it was I wondered if I was afraid. I was afraid for Supercell that they were just that meant that was the new pet in that video and not a new hero.
Yeah,
Because I thought, oh God, this looks like a promise of something big. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh God,
yeah.
if that would have been if the Raven or whatever would have been like the
Can you imagine?
oh
Oh, exactly. This massive, it was like a minute and a half long video, and it turns out you only get the Raven as a pet.
yeah, and
That would have seriously sucked.
well, because the Raven came out in that sneak peek that day, and they said
It
more
did, yeah.
tomorrow or something like that. So that day, I was
Yeah,
expecting like the dragon thing to pop or something. Like the news about it to
yeah,
pop, and then it was the Raven, and I'm like, I got really nervous. I'm like, you know, I can look on the brighter side of things pretty well most of the time, but
yeah.
people are gonna go mad if that's the case. But
Yeah, you were talking everything. Well, that's I can, and you said it yourself, right? It's the problem with recording, and then
stacking
obviously if
episodes,
there's then a
yeah,
gap of like, yeah, if there's a gap of like 5 6 days before you release, then
yeah,
you'll either be completely 100% correct, and everyone will be like, "Wow, that's fantastic," or you'll have been so wrong, and everyone was like, "Yeah." Duh."
yeah. Well, and I
So
look
it's
at it now and I go, oh, the update dropped, so I'm probably all right if I can record a couple in one week, and release them, for a second
yeah,
week, which I don't usually do because it's like because this happens all the time, um, and then a lot of the stuff's just irrelevant, after that point. So, uh,
yeah, and things, yeah. No, and I can imagine things. I don't know if maybe it's just because I don't know if it's because I took a break or but I do find that there always seems to be things changing in the
Yeah.
game at the moment. Because I think you and Slade were talking also about oh yeah, when was the last update, or is it that regular that, is it normal that they do the so often updates so quick
Yeah.
after, in the new year? But it's because what is it? They've modified troop levels now 3 times. They've done at least 3 balancing updates. If you include the recent update as well, there's like 3 balancing updates since the town hall dropped, at least.
Yeah.
Um, and that obviously then shifts the meta. So we're going to be into the third set of at least the third or fourth set of what will be considered the absolute meta by the time Town Hall 18.
Yeah.
By probably this CWL, because you had the throwers before,
Meteor
so that was the
golems.
February season. Yeah. Well, the meteor golems, I think, were January. I think pretty much, I think it was a mix of things in December because the town hall
Yeah.
had just released, and I know that at least the videos that I was seeing was mostly about using. It was, I think, there were meteor golem ones, but it was a lot of also dragon related armies because everyone was just using the totem spell. So it was pretty much
Yeah.
throw
Oh
anything
yeah.
down, just use 9
Mass
totems. And
dragons.
yeah, so Mass Dragons was working a lot. And then they nerfed the totem one time. And then what was it? They then
Rise
nerfed
of the
also the meteor
thrower.
golems because that was still,
Yeah.
yeah. And then exactly, then the throwers come along, they nerfed the throwers now. And, or what was it, 2 weeks ago?
I'm not even
Even, I
talking
think,
about what I'm
that they're
using anymore.
balancing.
I need to nerf my shit.
Yeah, but you never use what everyone else is using. So you always seem to
Exactly.
somehow come out like looking like incredibly clever
I'm
as
saving
everyone else
everybody
jumps
else
on
from a
the first
world of
one.
pain because Supercell
Yeah,
used to always nerf my troops, and I've been pretty good so far. Knock on wood. Every time I say something like
yeah,
that on the podcast, things turn upside down. But but yeah,
indeed. Yeah. But have you used a Duke?
I was okay. Yes, and it has been a while since I have upgraded heroes. So I did use him right away when he came out last night. I was hitting
Yeah.
and then put him down. Uh, got up today and was playing around with him, and he's working really well in my comp. I just replaced the king. I've got some work to
Yeah.
do, but I've been just I was kind of thinking of him and the Manian Prince as the Yin Yang twins earlier, and because I was kind of teaming with them, like sending them in together, and then
Oh,
and reviving. Depending, like revive this one, then revive this one, revive this one, and the problem with the Dragon Duke, not it's not a problem. It's a problem with my attack where I got to figure out, but he's really fast, and I was not expecting that. Much faster than I thought he would.
yeah.
Like I thought he would be. So I started dropping him and stuff, and he would just shoot off after a couple
Yeah.
things, and he's just going through things really quick. So I'm like, all right, I got to figure out the timing on this. But I did a few FCs, got a few 100%. Just not like not a, not
Like
like
it's
a.
nothing.
Well, I felt I didn't expect to do so well, and I could see him, being. I could see where I was gonna go, but I was like, yeah, I wouldn't be able to probably do this in Legend League today. Like, I don't have,
Yeah.
and there might, need to be some adjustments. I will say this though, when I did up until the release, and I waited. I was there for the countdown to when it came out,
Yeah.
and everybody that I started seeing on like BD Legend, Terminator, people who were on TikTok popping those things through it. it really sounded like the Dragon Duke was going to be this unstoppable rebel force that nothing was gonna be able to take down. You know, nothing's gonna be able to kill it.
Yeah,
They were talking about like the self healing, and I remember in one of BD Legends things, he said he's talking about the ability, and the only downside he said is it's going to take a long time for that to be able to use it because it's going to heal up so much if you ever get there or something. He said like that. So when
oh,
I
yeah,
so when I went in there to hit, I was thinking, okay, here's this flying fortress, uh, and he's fallible. Like
oh yeah,
I didn't think he was nearly as overpowering as I thought he was going to be.
yeah,
How about you? What
yeah. I know
is
what you mean.
your? Did you get him?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I've got him, and I've got him on quite. I've tried him out on a few different accounts at different town hall levels as well.
Oh yeah, I suppose
So I've
you're.
been trying. Yeah, so I've been, and I've tried him out on. So first of all, on my 18, I first used him with, I think with, um, yeah, no, I first used him with Super Hogs because, of course, I thought why not? It'd just be fun just to try him out. And I swapped him. I saw a video and someone was saying, "Yeah, you should try him instead of the RC in like an RC walk." And I tried one attack with an with Invis. It doesn't work, by the way. I mean, it does maybe if you're, an
He's quick.
incredibly skilled attacker. Exactly, but he's quick, and you don't get the benefit you get from the RC with the Electro boots as well. And because he is, so when he's on his own, he gets raged up, right? So,
Yeah,
and because he's raged up, he goes 50% faster, which is that quickness you're talking about. So, and then his DPS scales. So whatever so whatever equipment he has, whatever their passive DPS are, gets doubled by when he's on his own. So, and I think BD Legend put it in a video, and then he went and checked with the devs, and they confirmed it. So he's got his DPS is something like one. What was it? He said it was
he's like
something
six
insane, but it
thousand.
was,
Didn't he say it was
well,
six
yeah,
recovery on one of them?
six. I think it was. Yeah, the recovery is like 6,000, but is I think the DPS ends up because his normal DPS is 400, but then and so you would have thought, well, doubled is 800, but because of all the passive equipment he has, and because of the fact that he goes 50% faster. Supposedly, it ends up being 4 times. So it's like 1,600 per second DPS, which is a
Oh,
huge
okay.
amount.
I
That's
literally
that's
rewound that
more.
many times trying to
Yeah.
going is
Oh, that's it.
did he is that the
It's
math?
insane. Yeah, it's insane
It,
how powerful that is.
is that the fire heart or
And
whatever it's
then
called?
yeah, no, but it's
Which
so it's
which one was
It's
it?
the rage ability. So he gets the rage ability like a baby dragon does when
Yeah.
he's on his own. So when no flying troop is around him, he'll do twice as much damage, and he'll go half as times as fast as it is previously. And so 50% extra speed, basically. And then he has, what is it? He also takes less damage, I think, from traps and stuff. So he's great on his own. He does all this extra damage, regardless of the equipment. But if you choose the equipment which has the DPS on it, which is I'm just double checking, which
Oh
is the
no.
stun blaster. So
Okay.
the stun blaster has extra DPS, and the fire heart has extra DPS. So
I
they
did it
also
right.
get doubled.
I did it right.
Yeah, you did it right. Okay,
I did
cool.
it. Oh, I
So
was nervous there for a second.
yeah, no, no. So that's the best equipment if you want the maximum damage per second that he can do, and that's when he gets this huge amount. But he will then go quick, and he'll destroy a building very quick. So
Yeah.
if you've got something planned for him, where you want him to take out a certain section, at a reasonable speed, then that's the wrong combination because it's going to go too quickly, which sounds a bit strange to say. You'd think, yeah, but that's good. He's taking the buildings out. But I found
With the
that
rhythm of the rest of your
indeed, I put him on.
attack. Yeah.
Yeah, it throws it off, and what's worse is that if you're then doing a dragon attack, for example, then he ends up merging with the dragons. He loses that extra rage, and so you kind of lose a bit of the benefit. He's still really tanky,
Yeah.
and everything, but if he's able to stay on his own, so I was using the other one. I was using the fire flame flower thrower thing. Um, what is it called? Because
Yeah.
I hate getting names
I
wrong.
know I was
Flame blower.
flame blower.
So yeah, so that one doesn't add any DPS, but it has the extra flame attack, right? It's a bit like it's a bit like I think one of the videos said it's a bit like a seeking shield, right?
Yeah, it does
It's a
have like
fixed amount
this,
of extra damage that it does.
and it kind of
So
like
that
a
one's good.
flame blower of like the builder base, or like the right, like the
Yeah, it is.
flame
Yeah.
spitter.
Yeah,
Trying to
but
find
it's actually no. They say it's very like the one on the builder base. No, definitely,
because
because that one
I think they
also,
compared that,
where it's
right?
like breathing the flame.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the roaster, right?
Yeah, the
So yeah,
roaster.
he's basically got like a manual roaster with him, which does a lot of damage when you want it to, because it's
Right.
like 2,500 damage, as opposed to
Bigger
the other
bombs.
one, which then the DPS is higher, so he's going to do it all the time. Um, but yeah, so I found him. I found that he could work great in different armies. Like I said, I put him, I did put him in my super hogs. And I tried him instead of the RC, but it didn't work. So I kind of scrapped that because I'm not very good at the invis spell thing trick anyway. But I did the
Especially
same as
just
you. I swapped him out for the king, and I think he's great instead of the king because of the fact that, so with super hogs, I literally have no flying troops, right? I think I carry like a couple of small minions for cleanup and a baby dragon, which is never anywhere
oh
near where my king would be. So he's raged up the entire time, and because he's so tanky as well, and because the traps work half as well against him, he stays alive.
yeah,
So and a lot of the, what is it, a lot of the defenses that can shoot, I think ground and air can only shoot ground or air, from what I remember. So if I have him tanking for, say, like my archer queen, I just found that my archer queen stayed alive a lot longer. And yeah, he regenerates really quick as well, and
yeah. That's the to see
uh,
that thing pumping up.
he's
Like
powerful.
if you get him on the outside of the base, like I've noticed, if
I've-
he'll take everything out. I mean, if he's
mm,
not too, you know, like this really spread out with trash buildings. I mean, he,
yeah,
he's gonna go. Uh, at as he
no, I think
runs through the base too. Like I think the
yeah.
last one of the attacks I did, he got to the back corner, and I just kind of let it play out. But he probably took 25% of the base on the one end, on the
Oh
back
yeah,
end, pretty easily.
yeah. If you start him on the outside and your intention isn't for him to push into the base, then he does. He'll take out a huge amount. Um, and so with something like a dragon attack, that's actually probably what you want to do, right? Because you don't want him with the dragons, because then he loses the benefit of that rage. So you'll put him on one corner, and like you would usually a king, for example, is what that's what the idea is with the king as well. Or with an RC is, do you want to take out like one corner and then put your queen on the other with a siege barracks?
Yeah,
And then let your dragons go. So if you can put him on one corner and let him do his thing, and then or you still use, the RC on one side, the queen on the other, and you could use him, I guess, as a cleanup, for example,
I've got it
from
pulled
another
up.
corner.
Got it pulled up on my screen. Just kind of looking at it, and I'm thinking to myself as you're saying this, maybe I'd love to see how he does with the Raven on his shoulder, like him on the outside with the Raven cleaning things. What's that called? Is that what's his name? I keep forgetting. The Raven. It's Greedy Raven.
Oh, the greedy raven,
With
yeah.
the Greedy Raven and as the pet. Or I was even thinking maybe this would be a good a sneezy to put on with him, and then
Oh, no, no, no. Okay, so this is so because they interact, right, with the flying troop. Supposedly, he won't interact with the raven, or he doesn't recognize it as a troop, therefore losing his ability. Same with the owl, but supposedly with the sneezy, the boogers count as a air unit. So because of the boogers, he'll therefore not use his rage ability.
could he
So
use
you
that?
don't want to use him with Sneezy.
Like
Yeah, so you don't want to use him with Sneezy
no,
because
but
then he won't have that extra 100%. Yeah.
maybe that would be a really good tool to like get into the base where you like drop him. He's slow. Oh, something that's hitting the he'll be going slow until something is hitting the his sneezy boogers, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
oh there's something danger to air. Whew, I'm going faster towards it, and then when the next one
No, but
pops,
it's
he'd
yet.
slow down.
Oh, I see what you. Yeah.
Kind of like using
Mm,
it as a okay, I'm clear. Let me slow down here. Boom every time. Because so like with my minion prince, here's why I was playing with that idea. Because with my minion
yeah.
prince, I like to drop him on the one corner, and the warden on the other corner, let's say. But I was
Yeah.
dropping the him and double D there on the one corner, and which would mean they'd fight, he'd be going slow, and he'd be bombing, but when my minion prince died and he revives and he's doing his stuff, then the dragon
Yeah.
is after that the dragon's enraged, and goes like farther in. So I want him to go slow. I count on my minion prince dying. This is my thinking, and I've played with it a little bit. So you could have like, okay, I'm not gonna have you tank for me. I'm gonna have my minion prince tank for you while I'm doing it, like I would normally do, with you behind it, going your normal speed. But once my minion prince is taken out, surprise, the dragon duke's here to ruin your day.
Oh, wow. That is like the epitome of strategic thinking. That's actually very, very interesting.
Right? Because then,
Because most, yeah,
and then if you had Sneezy on him and he had that, then okay, he's protected. He's protect. Whatever's hitting the boogers, and then there's something that's hitting the boogers that's aimed at air. Now is when I want you to go the
yeah,
fastest, anyways.
yeah, yeah. I'm literally just trying it out now, and it does work that way. So while the boogers are there and alive, he slows down, and then yeah, indeed, as soon as they're gone, he goes mad and starts trying to absolutely kill everything. And then a new booger comes along, and he's like, okay, I can be nice and chilled now. The problem that you have with that obviously is that you're not controlling it as much as you think, right? So if he's going into an area where there's a lot of damage, he will, if suddenly suddenly there's a booger there as well, he's going to slow down, and then he's going to be less effective. So that's the only thing to keep in mind.
Oh yeah.
um Whereas yeah, so that is a bit of the downside, I guess,
I
of it.
I am
But
also
it's
using
I it
the
is clever though, huh?
revive. Yeah, or do that with like
Mm.
a lava hound. like on a or like if you threw
Yeah,
Lava
but
Hound in
it
there
will.
and and he's tanking and burning everything, the Lava Hound goes off, it's still tanking, burning slow, but he should be all right because it maybe burns in enough. Because
Yeah.
the thing about him standing back and going slow is that he heals up, right? So
Yes,
when you
that's very true. Yeah.
so those it'd be better to hold him up at places where there's not a lot of resistance. I don't know. I could see that as
Yeah.
working as like a resistance pocket kind of thing. I don't know if maybe it's not worth taking him
Yeah.
off the warden, but even like with other troops,
Oh,
I could kind of see how, or you'd maybe take one dragon cleanup with him to burn through a bunch of stuff, and then once that dragon, you could unleash the
has
beast
gone
with.
down. Yeah, exactly. No, I know what you mean. That's quite a clever way of doing it because in effect, what you're saying is you want to delay. You want him to do damage. You want him to sort of clear out a section of the base slowly, right? A bit like a flame flinger would do, right?
Yeah.
You'd put him into one section. You could say, right, I'm going to forget about him now for like a minute because I've got a pet with him, or if it's with um, with Sneezy, or else I've got a dragon with him, and he'll keep calm and he'll keep cool and he'll take his time while that dragon's still there. And then once it's gone, indeed, then it's like he can then rush straight into the middle, maybe later in the attack when the rest of your army is there. That's actually quite a clever idea.
Or if you're with,
But
like the minion prince with it,
it
how I was using
yeah,
what's it, the meteor rod, the meteor staff.
yeah,
Uh, I
yeah,
feel like it does a lot of damage, and I think, and I'm using revives here, so this is, I think
yeah, yeah.
as we're talking about, like anybody could probably work something kind of like into their attack, But when I was using him
Yeah.
last night, it was like I still I counted on I felt like the MP was still the all star. But if you've got him and if you use him like you would normally use him to do whatever, that MP with that
Hmm.
meteor shaft is cleaning off the defenses too. So if those
Oh
two are
yeah,
together and he's going slower, and it's just like I don't know. I'm excited about it for sure.
yeah. I think what I like about him, and I saw this at 17 and 16, my counts with the town of 17 and 16, is that he's very flexible. And it's for me, it's definitely. I think he can replace the king in certain strategies on the ground as well. If you're using the king on the outside, I think he's a great alternative.
Yeah, for
Like I
sure.
said, they used him as super hogs to push into the center to take out the town hall, and he was fantastic at that. Did he
Yeah.
get me extra value than the king? Yeah, it's hard to judge sometimes, but I definitely could get a lot of value. I tried him instead of the queen as well, with a dragon army. Strangely enough, I know everyone uses the queen because of the giant arrow with dragons, but below 18, you don't really need it. As long as you can do a decent RC spirit walk, then you can always get into the area base you want to, or clean it out, and you can use just a couple of lightning spells to take out whichever air sweeper is going to be the problem. So the queen's good, but the queen, I don't know. I think the queen is one that you can easily do without, and I think he's a lot better than the queen is. I
Except
mean,
for
it's
the
going to be base dependent,
except for
probably,
the
but
action
at least,
figure is so.
yeah. But that's the whole thing, right? Because he's so strong, that means then you've basically got an action figure with a huge amount of DPS all rolled into one, and his DPS is better than the queen's. So, and he's in the air as well, and he can attract the mines, but they do less damage, and he's got this massive self healing. So to be honest, I think he's better. I think he's better than or can be better than the queen.
I did
I'm going
think
to be
about
careful
that
because
as like.
I get into trouble
I
when I say that he can.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah, he's
nobody
definitely going to be
nobody
better
talks about the
than
queen that
anything.
way. It's
What?
like
Exactly.
I
Have
did.
you seen her feet? Oh my God. Um,
Yeah, she like
but
when I was looking at those videos, I did
oh,
think maybe this one does go without maybe the king, maybe the queen could sit on this. Like maybe this is
yeah,
a place where. But after, like I said, like it made it sound like it was, just gonna obliterate, and it's strong, but it kind of does function of like I don't know. I could see that being a possibility.
yeah. I
Maybe
think
there's some a shakeup too, where it'd be nice to see in the game where it's like, yeah, you just don't have to have that one staple necessarily.
e- exactly, and I know I think what was it? War Piglet was in the chat earlier, and he was showcasing um, the cookbook. So the cookbook armies have had armies added for Town Hall 15 to 18 from Itsu.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Itsu came up with attack strategies, and it's actually really cool because the in game now with the cookbook, not only will it give you the army for your town hall, which for some reason at town hall 18 is Edrax, but okay. But there's a button you can click, and it'll take you through to the video where you can actually see how to attack with them. So, which is a really cool feature, which
That's cool.
they've needed to add. So yeah, so Itsu's basically told everybody, all right, if you want to, this is how to use him at each town hall level, and obviously it's with different forms of dragons as well. And I've done the one at 16 and 15. 15 was 16, 17. 17 was the RC Spirit Walk into, I think it was into Mass Dragons, which worked
Ooh.
perfectly well. So you just use the Spirit Walk, and then you use him on one corner to take off one side of the base, the Duke, that is, and the rest of the army you just use to take out the remainder of the base, because he will take out, like you said, like 25% of the base on his own, as long as you keep him away from too much DPS all clumped up. So he's really good like that, and he
Yeah.
can go over the wall. So he's better than the king, because he doesn't have to worry about the walls. He's far more tankier than the queen is, so he gets a lot more value than just the queen on her own would get. So I think, and I like the minion prince as well. I'm a bit like you. I think since I've started using dragons, I've
I'll
I've
just bleep
suddenly
that
found
part out in
myself.
the podcast. Just like
Yeah,
beep.
it's gonna have to. I'm gonna get so much abuse in chat for this. But the Minion Prince is fantastic, and I think he adds so much value.
Yeah, he does.
And I'm a bit like you. I think you can use him to great effect for different types of attacks, not just for air attacks.
Yeah.
Can't quite get him to work the way you do, but on your ground army, I've tried it, but yeah, I gave up like pretty
I
much straight away. But
Everybody says
he
that.
is so good as well, though.
I think
Yeah, but to be fair, you've done about it must be close to a few hundred FCs
oh,
with that army.
at least, at least. I mean,
Yeah,
I went in like what? I'll go in at least do 10, 15 at. I'll go in late at night when nobody's there. I'm like, okay, nobody's chatting. I'm just
yeah,
gonna pollute the chat for a while. Um, I think I was trying to
yeah. So
talk
this,
to. I was trying to talk to what's his name? I was trying to talk to Slade about it, and Tyler too. And I think what it is just with I'm trying to like articulate where like how I'm using him, because I do think I'm using him a little bit different than other people are. Um,
yeah,
like I originally it was in place of um the RC, right, and and that was like the original intent, and you can run it that way. And most of the time, I've run it like the RC at the town hall. Number
yeah,
one, unless it is much easier for the warden to get at the town hall. But it's not dependent on the rest of the attack. You kind of adjust it based on what you need by reviving him. And
Yeah.
like if I see like, oh, so like I know I just need him to get here and die, just like the RC attack. But then it's like sometimes I will just push right through, like in those center bases. And
Yeah.
sometimes like if it's a like in a wider round, I might go 1-2 and then do late game revives to either, if he can take out something that is hurting other things, then I'll keep pushing most of the time. Otherwise, I kind of
Hmm.
wait. So I think like maybe where people have problems when they're trying it is that uh, it the function of it is kind of like the double purpose. Like it comes back to be a major piece. So in the RC, when I used the RC, it was always bring her back to clean up and get some stuff and hope to do it. But when it's more of a driving force, right? Because then if they've gotten through, so I might wait because, oh, if they get through there, then I don't have any air to do, and maybe there's a lot of trash buildings, but he's going to be popping the the staff on the defense somewhere else. So it's like I'll kind of wait and watch to see, which is a lot like the RC, but am I making sense on that?
No, you are. And it's because listening to the way you describe it is very different to, I think, the way a lot of, if you watch a lot of videos,
Yeah,
usually they try to break down attacks by, okay, here's how you can quickly get in and destroy everything.
yeah, yeah,
And even I mean, I know we have him on our Discord, right? So Shock's better than I actually think a lot of the other guys are in breaking down certain attacks and explaining why you
calmly
use your
too.
heroes the way you do. Yeah, Aki's also very good at that as well. It's another good one. But it's about explaining that your hero has a very specific purpose, and I think this is where the benefit is now with the Duke as well, right? And
Yeah,
I've found that I already found this at the lower town halls, because having played through them all with just what the four normal heroes, one of the reasons, and I hated air, and I've made that very clear that I hated it. One of the reasons I think that I've started to like Air was because of the minion prints, because he offered something different to an army where I kind of
yeah,
learned you had to use it in a certain way. And now it was like, well, hang on, there's flexibility. You can do it in a different way.
yeah,
And the minion prince is so super strong at the lower town halls. He's so, so, so good. And I think the Duke's going to be the same as well. It's not about, okay, how do I need to attack? And I've got four heroes with different equipment, and the equipment does something slightly different, which is good. You've got six heroes, which actually all can do similar jobs. Not
yeah,
all, but you can
yeah. You're right.
interchange, but also do things differently as well. They've got characteristics which make them better for certain types of attacks. So I mean, it sounds like it's probably an obvious thing to say. Of course, you get something extra. It means you can be more flexible. But
And maybe
the
it's
amount of flexibility, there's a lot now. And as long as you attack and look at attacks the way you do, um, because I think that's the benefit of it. If you break it down and you think of it right, what do I want the different pieces of my army to do, including my heroes? Then you can probably get a lot out of a hero, like a minion prince supporting a ground army. Whereas most people, I think, that play the game probably just want the 3-star quickly, right? So then it's like
yeah,
which smash army works best, and then it's okay, why on earth would I use the minion prince for the ground army when I can just use, the royal champion doing this, and the king doing that, and the queen doing that? Fine, I'm good. You know,
yeah.
my meteor golems or my throwers have destroyed everything. Um,
Because then they
but
switch something and they break it, and then I'm out of luck. That's
yeah,
what.
well. Yeah, but it also means that I think you're always more flexible to these changes. I know you talk a lot about it ruining, the way you attack, but it doesn't. You
Yeah, I'm
usually
pretty
are you're more immune. I find you're more immune to these changes that happen. You may be, because because you look at your heroes more in how they will support what you want them to do, rather than looking at, I have to do this army in the way it says on this particular video, which works perfectly as long as you practice it a few times. You can get it to work and get 3 stars every time. Great.
yeah.
But as soon as something changes, then you can't adapt, or players can't adapt. They have to then go find the next video because they haven't actually learned how to use the troop, or learn how to use the heroes in this case,
And
and what works well and what combinations. Whereas I think you do.
I think you guys have taught
I think
me really well. And the one thing, and I guess here's the things. Here's like, I guess thinking back like a year. Here's like the thing. Maybe one of the things I've learned is that it is a lot the same, right?
yeah,
The purposes of the things that you want to do in a base are pretty much the same. You're building a funnel, or you're taking out this,
yep,
and when I start slipping, what I have to do, and it usually takes me a day to or a couple days to wake up, is go back to the basics and think about the funneling. I think I'm thinking about the heroes a little bit different just with the minion prints, but I think
yeah,
talking to you about the queen and other things like there is a much room, but with the attacks, it's like, okay, it doesn't matter if you look at somebody else's attack. Like I'll look at shocks, right, and I'll
yeah,
use one piece of what he's doing, like the four
yeah,
furnace thing, legacy piece. This works really great. Um, how is he accomplishing what it is he wants to do? And if you've liked this army you're working with, you know, are you can you just adjust things? Can you work that into what you're doing? What piece can you pull up? Like, you don't have to copy that exactly, because I think people just have preferences, right? Like, you just better. We could see things better with this, or you can, so like just look at the principles of what people teach you or what you're seeing, and then use those principles to change it. Because I'll see something with I'll hear something, or you guys will tell me something, and I'm like, oh yeah, and it's like how you think about it more than I think the prescription of an army. And I think like different metas are out there, just like waiting for people to discover. But I don't think
they are.
people do it a lot because they think it won't work. But it's just because nobody else has done it yet.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's that's also, I'm gonna sound like a bit of an old fuddy-duddy by saying this. That's also the reason why playing through the game slowly is probably quite beneficial a little bit, as opposed to this whole temptation to strategically rush. Because I know obviously the strategic rush thing is very popular, right? So
Yeah.
especially at the moment, and it's great. I mean, obviously, we've had what, Tip did loads of videos on strategic rushing. BD
Yeah.
Legend does loads of videos.
T.
Call Me T
Yeah.
obviously is the guru of strategic rushing, and they'll all say, going through the different levels, it doesn't matter, and as long as they always caveat it with, as long as it's your second account, it doesn't matter that you're rushing in terms of missing out on learning certain things. And I always found it really interesting that they used to caveat that, because what they're basically saying is that strategic rushing is the best way, and it's a fantastic way of getting to the end game. And as long as you are putting in the effort to learn and to practice, and you're watching lots of YouTube, and you will learn how to do funneling properly. You'll learn how to use your heroes properly, your troops properly, your spells properly. But if you're not getting like a huge amount of input, and practicing all the time, going slowly helps because it sort of forces you a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Because you have a new troop coming along every town hall, they offer something different,
It's
and it
better.
kind of makes your brain, forces your brain to think a little bit. Oh, how do I use this guy?
Yeah.
How would I do something? How do I make this particular troop work or this hero work?
Because I didn't want to use the minion
Um,
prints, and I tried them out, and while my
yeah,
RC was
e-
upgrading or whatever, and pushes me into
exactly.
like,
Like,
yeah, try something
yeah,
different.
indeed. Yeah, and it's a little too easy just to, like you said, just to go with whatever a video tells you to do, and then you learn um the art of press. It's like with the video consoles. You could be really good at Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. I'm gonna say Mortal Kombat because it was more my game. By literally just learning what buttons to press, right? And then it becomes muscle memory.
Yeah.
Okay, I know if I use the following combinations, I'm going to always win because this combination leads to this special attack, etc.
Up,
And then
up,
you can
down,
pretty much
down.
like play the, yeah, exactly, and you can play the game with your eyes closed. And to a degree, you can do that with Clash as well, right?
Right.
You learn, all right, okay, if I'm going to do this kind of a smash attack, for example, I just need to do the following actions, and it gets a bit more difficult when you go into something like I don't know, like a warden walk into fireball. But again, not really, because
Yeah.
it takes more practice, but you're learning very specific steps.
And you're
And then
learning
when it goes wrong,
objectives.
people
You want to
panic.
get this, right? You don't want to get,
Exactly. Yeah. But it's not even I want to get, I have to get, right?
yep,
Okay, for this to work, I need to envis these particular buildings so I can put my fireball there, and then I can earthquake, and then after that I put this down at this particular time in the video because that's when they say they do, and you put your troops in, and you put the other troops there in the corner because that then makes sure that your troops go in the middle. So you're doing all the actions,
yeah,
which you've learned and which you practice. And then as soon as something changes, then indeed metas change, right? Because the meta changes because people don't adapt with the army. They then throw it away and go grab for whatever, is the next best troop, as it were. And that's a great way to play. And it's the easiest probably way to play, I guess.
yeah.
It's like I said, it's kind of the console approach, right? Where you just learn how to do things and it becomes muscle memory.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the
I
best
see what you're saying.
players are those with the best muscle memory. But
It
for
could
me,
be the
that's not a
ninja.
strategic
Ninja.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But then it misses a little bit of the strategic side because you're relying on someone else to figure out the strategic way of attacking, and you're just gonna copy them basically.
Yeah.
Whereas I think you definitely approach attacking more from the strategic perspective. How can I use my hero? How can I use my troops in a different way or in the best way? Which is okay. I'm going to stop. You know, blowing your horn for a second,
I was like,
which is
I was talking about
I
somebody
know
else here.
it's like
No.
all Scotty here,
No.
like stroking the ego. No, but I've found that now replaying on my lower accounts a bit more seriously that I can do that at the lower level. And
Yeah.
I don't think I did previously before. I think I was the same. It was like, okay, which is the best strategy? And that's probably why I enjoy playing on my lower town halls more than I do on 18 now, is because of the fact that I I guess I'm now able to see the variety in a way that I never used to before. When everything was new, because it was just okay, how can I 3-star? Whereas now it's okay, how can I use this combination? Yeah, the
It,
minion prince. How do I use him in attack?
I want
I
to
never
do a
had him available for
double
before.
backflip into a knife fight kind of thing. Like you kind of want to just
Yeah,
mix it all up.
exactly.
I I
Yeah, indeed. Yeah,
I do think because I like during CWL and whatever, I'll like kind of pop in and do some attacks like on my lower level accounts that I just can't pay attention to um
yeah,
much, but that's where I see like where I've where I come along and what I've learned, like especially coming back from the podcast, was like I think I always tried to fit the thing into what was supposed to do and didn't see those objectives, but like learning about pathing and these different
Yeah.
little things. It's not the attack that ever, it's not a strategy ever that I learn. It's not the strategies that teach me. It's the principles I think of it, and when you can kind of figure that, and then and I think like what you said about like practice too. Uh, the FCs, and I didn't really get what you guys meant about base IDing
Yeah.
until being in Legends. I'd see the base out there, we'd see them in wars, but the rapid pace at which kind of people can introduce bases, or you get a base that you just cannot, like I had I've had this real problem base, and I was starting to see it like 2-3 times in a thing, or and Tyler's got it, and I'm doing good on it in one place and not. Uh, and so I'm like, I need. Does anybody have this base? I need to be able to do it, and then I'll FC it till I can figure it out. In a to crack it or whatever. And if I couldn't crack it, I would switch up my army. That's what it would mean, is
Yeah.
if I just can't get it ever. Sometimes I've used them as like benchmarks. Like, okay, I cannot, and then I'll just try to. Those are the nice bases when you're trying to like figure out an army, because if you get 100% every time, it doesn't really tell you much. But if you can get 70, 80 with your regular army, and then adjust it, and then it improves, then it's like, okay, then I'm getting it. But so
No, exactly. And I think that is definitely where the practicing helps, right?
yeah, and
Um,
and if
can
you're
I, can I, can I,
lower town hall,
sorry.
let me just say this real quick. If you're a lower town hall,
Yeah.
these things will, um, when you get into like more competitive things, that's when you're going to start to see it. And so even like going out and looking at bases online and downloading them, like, Discord
Yeah.
server, or like Tyler says he uses X, and there's YouTube, even if they're a popular base, getting them, because you're going to be seeing those popular bases because other people are getting them too. And I think one thing to do is don't use whatever CC they tell you, because everybody is going to expect you to use that.
That's very,
I
very
think that's
true.
where I
Yeah.
trip a lot of people up on defenses. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Yeah. That and no, well, I was going to say something else, but I'm just going to add to that. The, the one thing I will say though, with playing on below 18, is that definitely below 17, I don't think any base can handle maxed out heroes, and with their maxed out equipment, I don't. It's too easy. The I mean, I've heard comments on it before, but
The,
it's the I mean, I've got definitely from the point where you get equipment at Town Hall 8. I think is when it's from Town Hall 8, and between definitely Town Hall 8 and Town Hall 15, at the very least, it's as soon as you max out the equipment for your Town Hall level, you're pretty much,
a
and you
beast.
know the basics. Yeah, pretty much. And that's why I've been using dragons as well, because it's so quick and it's so much fun. You just completely demolish any base whatsoever. And the minion prince is just, oh, he's just so good. Um,
Yeah.
but Town Hall 15, well, even 15 is pretty easy, to be honest. I mean, I know they've got the monolith, but the options that are available to you, Town Hall 16 as well, because you can spirit walk very effectively at those levels. And Rude Riders obviously still work incredibly well. And then being backed up with the heroes and all the extra new equipment that keeps coming out, like the horse that came out.
Yeah.
I've been using him on a few different town
How's
halls,
he
and
working for
it's
you?
phenomenal.
Really?
Oh, he's so good. Yeah, because he, first of all, a little bit like you're seeing with the Duke, right? He's a lot faster, first of all, because he gets boosted speed. If you then put the gauntlet on him as well, he will pretty much just, he tries to go directly in. I mean, he doesn't go for a defensive buildings, he'll go for anything. But
He's
he
just
still is.
Nuts.
He's still so quick anyway at getting rid of the other buildings. And again, if you funnel a little bit, so you know where you want it to put him through, he'll jump straight over the wall. He'll go straight into the compartment, destroy pretty much everything on his own anyway that you want him to. And then you can use the gauntlet as well, and he gets fantastic value. So I've been really enjoying using that combination.
How are you so if you're
Um,
using that combination, how are you starting your, like, what town hall level are you mostly?
So with him, I've used him on my. I think I used him on my town hall. Town hall 11. Yeah, my town hall 11. My new town hall 11. It was town hall 10. I'm on town hall 11, and that was ridiculous. And my town hall 17 and a 13, I think, or 14. 14 is the 14. So 3 different town hall levels.
So
Um,
are you dropping
and
him right away, or are you sending him, are you
no,
starting your
no,
army funneling?
no. No, so I've used him to help on the funnel with dragons, but then to take out a proper section, like a corner of the base. So you
Okay.
still, like I said, so when he's above, what is it, town hall? On my town hall 17, I can put the angry jelly on him. So then he'll literally just go straight for the defenses. So then I drop him on his own. But then on my 14 and on my 11, then you want to direct him, right? Because there's no point
Yeah.
having that burst of extra speed and the ability to go over the wall if all he's going to do is stay on the outside of the base. Knocking down your trash building. So then you have to be a bit clever in how you use him. So then I'll use this, on my 14, I was using sneaky goblins and baby dragon to funnel on one side, and then just hopefully send him straight in the same way as for my 14 that I would do with the RC as well. If I was
Okay.
doing an opening with the RC, and you want to get into a compartment that's behind the walls, I'd do exactly the same thing.
So are you,
And then he's acting.
sorry, keep
Yeah,
going.
go on.
No, 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 no. Keep going.
No, I was going to say in effect, he's acting like a flame flinger, which is what I see the Duke is doing. Is that they're able
Oh.
to get into that section of the base and take down, hopefully, a number of defensive buildings in a particular corner. So it's really good from that perspective.
Yeah.
So that's why I found that, okay, I can just switch my king out then for the duke, and they'll work pretty much exactly the same to get that kind of a value. Um, but no, all the equipment seems to be pretty much once it's maxed out. I mean, the epic equipment especially is way overpowered at lower town halls, and
Yeah, it's
it
kind of,
makes it enjoyable because you can try different combinations out. I found now, especially a lot more than when we played through them. I remember
yeah.
struggling at Town Hall 14 because I used to do hybrid or I did witches, and neither of them would work. Whereas my Town Hall 14 now, I can use hybrid and triple always because the heroes have the equipment that offsets the negative that was there before. There was a
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
splash, and then it was really difficult because you couldn't take out the splash damages or before, or else the town hall was so powerful. And what were you then going to do? Well, now the heroes can get in there in a way that they never used to be able to, because they're now the main part of your army. If you think about it in a more strategic way, just the full circle to what I was saying about the way you look at the heroes. So I've I'm doing it more on the lower. I don't think I'll be able to do it on Town Hall 18 though. I don't know how you manage to keep up with everything that's going on in an attack at Town Hall 18. It's just
Is that your
it's too much for me.
is that your hiccup with
That's
Town Hall
my
18?
my okay. So, and I've said this to you before. My
Lay it
I
out
I
there,
hate
Chewie.
Town Hall 18. Yeah, I hate it
Give it to us
with a
Wookie
passion.
style.
I don't like it at all. But it's a me thing. I can understand a lot of players probably.
Is it the
They all
color?
love the highest town hall level. It is.
Is
but
that
it's not because of the color scheme, as in, oh, I don't like the colors. I can't see anything. And it's so it's got to be a my eyes thing, but I struggle to tell the difference between any of the buildings. And so when I'm going in, so when I'm even like when I have like the 30 seconds preview for an attack, I'll be
yeah.
looking around and I can't find anything. And I'd never had that before. I could always find these specific buildings I want. And it's just something with I don't know if it's the color scheme that they're now using, or because of the fact that the buildings tend to they just seem to look like each other, a lot of them,
Yeah.
or at least they do to me. A lot of people are probably going to say, "True, you're talking at your ass. You don't know
Uh-huh.
what you're talking about." They all look completely different. But to me, they look so similar that I just find it really hard. And so then I find that I'm attacking based on, well, I assume if I go like this and I press the screen at these particular times, hopefully it will go well. I don't actually feel very much in control when I'm attacking at 18. And sometimes I'll get a 3-star and I'll be like, okay, great, but I'm not
Not
sure did it. It's not because I did it in a particular way. It's just because I was fortunate enough to put everything down at the right time.
yeah.
Because yeah, I just literally cannot really tell the difference. And so that's why I'm just not really enjoying it. I don't think in the way I do with any of the other levels, because it's yeah. Well, for me, I just can't really tell much of the difference between the buildings.
You
Sad
know,
but true. But I'm old, Scotty, so it's
no,
probably an age thing.
well, okay, let's just say it is, right? Uh
Yeah,
or like, eyesight or like color sensitivity or anything like that. Like
yeah,
I noticed to me as well that it is kind of I could if you are sensitive to a light or like a certain shade of blue, for example, everything would look
yeah.
the same.
Yes, that's very true.
And and so like if on that spectrum thing like that might be a little bit more of a problem with the game, right? Because that's not just going to affect like everybody. And I've noticed that like I can see the buildings, but I do also think they are more subdued as well.
Yeah.
Like I know, like when you say that, I get it. Uh, how it could how it could definitely tip that way. Even like things like the walls and stuff, and maybe now it's a little bit darker, but I keep it.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And even like
yeah,
on a
because
different
it's
base,
funny.
it's kind of weird because it's
Yeah.
like they kind of stick out on a different base if I don't on a different color scheme. But I
Yeah,
could,
sometimes it's the background, and that can make a difference. But I'm just talking to my 17 and the 18 at the moment, and like 18 was dark. I mean, sorry, 17 was dark, and I really loved the color scheme of 17. But the I think because of the choice of the colors, because that was more of a darker blue, and then there was the gold trim around it,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
That was more of like that justice scenery
get
theme that it
gold
had.
plated.
Um, yeah, exactly. But then everything, at least the buildings do stand out a lot more in terms of their shape and the color. And I don't know, it's just like I said, maybe it's just a me thing, but I do
No,
find that they kind of wash in. And I think it's like with a lot of things as well. If you struggle with part of it,
yeah,
and then you find you're not doing well, then you lose your enthusiasm for it. And I can't imagine. I can. Well, no, I can imagine what it must be like for players that only have one account that feel that way. That must be one of the reasons why a lot of players end up quitting.
yeah, or like taking a
If the
break
meta
or
change, yeah, or taking a break, because it will be if suddenly you've done well at like a previous town hall and the new one comes along and there's different defenses and they look different and there's a new troop which works different to the way you're used to using troops, then if you can't adapt to it straight away, then it's like with anything, right? Then then you get demoralized.
Yeah.
And if you then can't fall back on the, okay, I can't do this level or I can't do this, so I'll go back to the one that I could do and I'll just play on that one because at least I enjoyed doing that. That's one of the things I don't like about Clash is that that's not an option. You just it's like, yeah, but you've already done the last town hall. You're not allowed going back again. And it's like,
Oh
yeah, but
yeah.
I don't like the new one. Can't I go back to the old? No, you can't. You've upgraded. You're stuck there. Um, and I get that that's where the new content is, and there's that big push that everyone should go to the highest town hall. But no, for me. No, I just don't enjoy it. 17. I've got what, one, two, three, four, 5 accounts at 17, which could all have gone up to 18, but I've left them all at 17, and
Did,
I still play on a couple of them daily, and I just prefer it. I
when you
like the 17
when
because I
you
can.
said it, it's
Yeah.
just like when you were talking about it earlier about the sneaky goblins and stuff. I was like
Mm,
thinking to myself, that's right. The town halls is still a defense. Like how quickly you forget.
yeah.
Like, and that's a big change too between the two. I mean, just having the town hall by itself and everything, like
Yeah, I
big
think,
game
and
mechanics and
yeah, as a game mechanic, I mean, I know I struggled with that as well. I think a lot of players did, right? The whole RC into the town hall as a way to clutch the 2-star or clutch the 3-star,
yeah,
um, is no longer possible, right? So, and then the Guardian does add an extra level of difficulty to it. But there's ways around it. I mean, like I said, I've been enjoying doing sort of dragon attacks, and okay, Dragon Riders aren't particularly useful because they completely. And I've had such way too many 1-stars because of that reason. It's like, where are you guys going? Go back to
yeah.
the town hall. Go back to the town hall.
Oh,
And my super hogs just tend to do the same. They ignore it, and when the rider gets thrown off, he's way too weak anyway against the Guardian. So part of it is needing to adapt. But I think there's enough armies out there, right, where
yeah.
people adapt. And I tried to throw an army into I think in the Clan War League after it just came out, and I think I got 20 stars or something. So did really, really well with it. Um,
I
but it
I saw it
was,
and I'm
yeah, I
like, they're
don't
gonna
know.
nerf it. I'm like, whew.
Yeah, it was obvious they're going to nerf it. It was just too powerful. But I don't know. It's like sort of said, it was the same thing. I would put them down in the corner because you were meant to put them in a specific corner, and then I just let it go. And then try to put my totems where I thought my totems should go, but then because I can't see, for some reason I can't then properly see even though they haven't had a new level, the fire spitters, but the way I think because of the way the other buildings and the color they are, and like you said, things then just tend to blend in. So I couldn't see
Yeah,
then I always struggle to see where the fire spitters are pointing. And then I'll come in at a certain angle. I had that today as well. I looked at the base and I thought, okay, the fire spitters are all going one way. I'm going to come behind them, and that ended up getting the wrong way around, and I went straight into the fire spitter instead of going behind it. So yeah,
well,
my eyesight's obviously not good enough for
honestly, when
18. So
I spent about 4 minutes when we were
hopefully 19 will
talking,
be better.
I spent about 4 minutes when we were talking looking for my uh forge. What's it called? The equipment.
Oh God, yeah, no, that thing I can never find.
Like when we were talking
That's
about the Dragon
impossible.
Duke, I've got it pulled
Oh
up. I'm like, oh yeah, what's that one thing again? And I could not find it anywhere. Like could
no,
not find it.
no,
So I don't think it's necessarily just you. Sometimes it's just
no,
a
it's
contrast between the two colors too, or like um
I think
that
so.
can be
Yeah.
off that kind of throws it. Uh we did
Yeah.
have on here Game Pass.
Oh, for the you mean the gold
Gold
pass?
Pass, sorry, Gold Pass. Did
Yes.
did you have thoughts on the new GP? What do you It's a big
Well, I
rework.
can say that yeah, and I've got. It's funny. I'm looking around to make sure no one's listening in while I say this. I'm just like a little kid. I got three this month.
Mm.
All because I could get them all with that discount, so I got them on 3 accounts. Um, And no, I think it's great. I think it's really, really good. The the hero skin choice, I think this month was,
Oh,
yeah. So you could get the minion pins, which looks really cool, which is one of the
uh,
reasons I wanted to get it as well.
yeah, I
Because
saw that and I was like, oh my God, that is
yeah,
perfect.
it's really, really good. But the other choice is the Golem King. So you know how you can
Yeah, I saw
switch
that.
between them. So, and the Golem King is also, it's one of my favorite king skins as well. So
What a
I
nice,
really love the fact there's,
what a nice introduction to the Gold
yeah,
Pass.
exactly, yeah. And I think it's a really so the changes they've made, funnily enough, are changes that I think, I mean, I'm not the only one. I think loads of people said this as well. But I've commented on like judo videos before, I think, saying, when the question was raised, what gold pass change would you want? I've always said, give choices. Just give a
Yeah.
choice to the player between the type of potions, the type of books, the type of skins. We pay the money. We shouldn't be told you have to have the same thing every month. It's good to just to have a choice. Just a choice between two different things. So I think the fact they've done that is fantastic. I love the fact that they've added chests to the silver pass instead of the only the potions. I know some
Yeah.
people online complain about the potions, and yeah, it's nice to get a hero potion and a power potion if you really need it, but you can get 3 of each from raid medals every week. So for me, they've never
Oh,
been valuable,
because they were kind of
not
using them
since the
for
raid medal shop
gems,
came out.
right? Like,
Well, yeah. So there's the argument that, oh, okay, we're missing out on 60 gems or 70 gems because of the potions, which I think is such really ridiculous argument, because you get something passively. I checked it out. I think passively you can get something like 1,200 gems a month if you remove all obstacles. You have the gem mine, and if you collect all the gems that are there in the clan games, you get something like 1,100 to 1,200 gems a month. So what, 70 gems is nothing. It's like 5% less, right? So it's hardly, it isn't worth people
I see what you're
complaining
saying.
about,
Yeah.
first off. And now you get, I think it's, what is it, 11 chests? One, two, three. Dead air while he counts.
No, I'm,
Yeah, 11 chests. So, which means you get 11 attempts at what? A hero equipment or a skin or a book or a hammer every month. I mean, why on earth would people be unhappy about that?
and
First off, and
and they kind of
you can
reworked
also
the
switch out.
chests, right? So like,
Uh,
I kind of seem like
well,
in
yeah,
the
actually,
last couple, at least in the like the last like they've talked about or you know what you
I
get out of the
they've
chests. Like,
definitely, yeah, they've definitely changed something. So I think the was it on the RTS podcast last week, Trample Damage was there as a guest, and he was talking to Rick, and they were asked about the chests, and Rick said there is a mechanism to how it works,
yeah,
which if people knew, they wouldn't complain so much about the luck that they get, or they would understand, but we're not allowed to say what it is. And people should just look at the percentages that are released. So what that tells me is that, just thinking of it from a pure mathematical perspective, it isn't the same percentage chance that you probably get every time. So I think, like they say, oh, it's a 2% chance of getting a legendary, because that would literally mean that you would only really get one or the maybe two, potentially, if you did 50 pulls, right? If you
yeah,
go pure statistical analysis, that a 1 in 50 chance is a 1 in 50 chance, because really you're not going to see it happening more than 1 to 2 times per 50. Um, and that's just simply not the case. I've had two legendary pulls in as a sequence of 3 chests on one account before. So obviously, and you could say, yeah, but that's still random. You were just lucky, and that's maybe true. But I think what they probably do, and I think maybe they've changed it now, and they do it like that this now, but I've noticed that I'm getting a lot luckier, and I think quite a few people now are saying, "Oh yeah, I got a legendary, or I got more epics I never used to."
Yeah.
That I think over time, what it does is every time you get like a common, then the chance of you now getting an epic or a legendary goes up. So it's also
Yeah.
you can look at it from a statistically wise. It also works that way. If you have a set of 100 chests and you're guaranteed to get 2 legendary per 100, and you're guaranteed to say get 5 epics per 100, they start from that perspective. Every time you get a common, you are more likely to get one the next time, right?
Yeah.
And so they can also tweak it as well, whereas they can say, right, instead of per 100, we're going to do the odds, but we're going to do the odds over 20. And we're going to say you've got a 2% chance of getting it, but it's a 2% chance based on the 20, so that you're guaranteed to get it, say, definitely the 2 epics per 20 or 3 epics per 20, and we'll guarantee you 1 legendary per 25, for example. So if you go to 24, rather than having to go to 50, even though technically speaking you've got 200, sorry, you got a 2% chance, will maybe give you a greater opportunity of getting it if you've only gotten, say, the commons and the rares before that, because they can weight it in such a way so that if you're not getting good rewards, that you go through a certain sequence, you're then guaranteed to get like an epic or a legendary. So it's almost like boosting your odds.
Yeah.
You can code for that using mathematical formulas,
So like a lot
but
of
it's
what a lot of the complaints probably are coming from the experience with a different algorithm, chess algorithm, probably too.
yeah. I think they've changed it. I think it really was probably in the past set up in such a way as it looked at all the chests that were out there, and it did the randomizer of what is the opportunity of you getting something.
Oh,
And some people would just get no luck, right? If it was 2%, like I said, you literally have to open 50 chests statistically to get one. But I mean, technically, you could get it on your first, but it's within a cycle of 50, you would only ever get one legendary chest. But you can change things slightly so that you do give people almost like a guarantee. Like I said, you can guarantee that they will definitely get either an epic or a legendary per slightly smaller grouping. And then it might well be that you get like an epic, and then next is say in a group of say 10, and then the next group of 10, maybe you would get an epic, the next group of 10 you get a legendary, and then you won't see the legendary again for a certain number of groups. But it's kind of like it's guaranteeing that the odds will fall definitely,
that's my
whereas
kind of casino.
technically, yeah, whereas and yeah, but that's funny enough, that's also the way slot machines work. I think
Yeah,
Trump will started to say it a little bit on the RTS, but because the whole idea is you need to incentivize people to play, right? So
yeah.
um, statistics suggest that something can happen, like on a certain random amount of chance, but technically you could still not get one in, like a legendary. If you're 2%, you could technically open 200 boxes and not get one,
And we
because if every time you only had a 2% chance, that doesn't necessarily mean you're ever going to get one. But if you fix it in such a way as you 100% guaranteed they will always get one every 50, then you're not fixing it, but you're making it so that the odds are representative that of how long someone needs to wait, as it were.
and
So that's what I mean. I think they have changed that
I
anyway.
think players also, as you're saying this, I also, as we're talking about randomization or whatnot, it's you hear a lot. The complaint is, how come I got this when I filled up on this? But then on the other
Oh,
hand,
that.
if
Oh
we
God,
want it,
no.
so we're also assuming, right, that like on one hand, like with this stuff we want at random, but on the other hand, we like we assume that they know what we got and they shouldn't be giving us the things that we got. That was like the complaint
Oh,
before, right? Like,
you don't think that they do?
no, I'm just
'Cause
saying, I'm saying
I
like
I
players, like as
yeah,
we're talking about it, we're kind of talking about it in one way about like, the chess like being how it what it could be, but we all assume, I think,
yeah,
that Supercell knows what's in our stuff. You know what I mean? So I don't know if we're
yeah.
like, as players, we're not. We
Oh,
Do you see what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, we're if we're talking about it being random and not maybe not pointed, or if we feel like it's a little stacked or something like that, we're also on the same point saying, don't give me something I don't have. So we're saying like,
yeah,
we know you're in it or whatever already. So, but I don't think people
yeah.
think about that.
No, exactly. And it's funny though because, so what I noticed, what was it? Yeah, so we had the Unlock the Duke event, right?
Yeah.
And we had the 3 doors every day, and, there was always 3 chests available, behind one of the doors. And, I know for my town hall for my town hall 9 and, what was it? My town hall 11, um, I had a stupid amount of luck. I had, like, I got 2 epics and, on the one, and I had an epic on a legendary on, like, the first 3, chests that I pulled for each of them.
Nice.
And they're both and yeah, and they're both relatively new accounts. So I think the Town Hall 9 has never ever had any chests. It was one of these ones where I rushed it to Town Hall 9 because I wanted a Town Hall 9. So I rushed it into Town Hall 9 in like a week and a half, and then I'm just leveling up at the moment. And the Town Hall 11 maybe has gone through a couple of chest events, but not. Well, it must have definitely because I created it in Hammerjam. Um, but what was weird with the rewards, so I got what was it now? I got, I think a book as an epic and a skin. I wanna say a skin, or was it oh, no, it was equipment because I got the fireball, um, on the 11, I think. And then I got 2 books. I got a book of, I think, a book of fighting and a book of heroes on my Town Hall 9, which
Oh,
is incredibly useless because you're Town Hall 9, right? So it's terrible value. But the book of heroes I'd just gotten out of my pass, my silver pass, and the book of fighting we had from Supercell. Do you remember they
oh
gave away a
yeah.
book of fighting a couple of weeks ago? So I literally had 2 books I couldn't use. Or sorry, I had 2 books I couldn't hold. I had to use them within 24 hours. So
Yeah.
do sometimes think that, it's almost like when you get the reward that you get, I do wonder sometimes if the game checks to see if you're holding a book and kinda wants you, because I think Supercell have said this before, they don't like the people hoard books. They want people to progress quickly, so they want to encourage people to use the magic items because that's what the whole idea is. The magic item allows you to progress a bit quicker, right? Not that you always sell it for gems because you can't overstack, or that that you go and buy and just stack up the entire time, and then hold it to a later town hall. So I do sometimes wonder whether or not, because I've
I
had
wish I
this
could
so many
stack
times, you get an
those.
epic, yeah. Well, it would be fantastic if they could, but it does defeat the purpose for the in-game ones. I get it if you buy it,
Yeah.
okay, fine, that's the advantage of buying. But the whole idea of a magic item is that you're meant to use it to get the
Oh, I
benefit of
suppose
it,
I see what you're
right? And
saying. That people just
yeah,
hold them and
there's
hold them and hold them.
yeah, because we're told, yeah, but the opportunity cost if you use it on a 4-day upgrade means you could have used it on a 12-day upgrade once you get to 6
Yeah.
town halls higher, and it's like, yeah, okay,
And then they'll
cool,
save all
but
the
I've
books and
also
never
saved myself
enjoy
4
the
days.
the game that they want them to
Yeah,
enjoy.
indeed. Yeah, indeed, and so I do sometimes wonder if the game is supposed to check, do you have a book?
Yeah,
And if you have the same one, to give it to you because you've held that book for too long, or because it wants you to use the book. So I do wonder if there's a little bit of that logic built in.
I kind of hope so.
Um,
But
so do I, because it's also a bit about what we said about the strategy and attacking, right? This is a strategy game, and if all you do is you're attacking, trying to mimic what someone's done on YouTube, or you're upgrading things in a way because a guy on YouTube has said this is the best way and it's best to rush. You miss out on a lot of things, and it's not a criticism of the guys on YouTube, because
yeah,
I love a lot of their videos, and some of them are a lot better than the others. But there's a lot of content creators that do a
like who?
really
No, I'm
good
just
job
kidding.
of,
I'm just kidding.
yeah, like who, yeah. I mean, like you mentioned clash bashing, I think last week, and
Yeah,
uh, he's someone whose channel, funnily enough, I don't actually listen to, but I love hearing him on podcasts.
yeah, I do too.
Because he was great on the RTS one. He was recent. He was no, sorry, with Cat.
Cat. Yeah,
He always does the RTS town hall upgrades. He
yeah.
was on BD Legends new podcast, because he set up a podcast with Terminator, and the two of them do it with other, I guess you can say, what is it, super creators.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
Clash Bashing was on with my old clanmate, Corrupt was on it
Oh,
as well.
awesome.
And Jacob plays Clash, I think, was on the last one as well. So that
Oh,
was
that's
really
cool. I
cool,
follow
because
him on
then you get a
TikTok.
lot of, you hear yeah, and these guys, when they're talking on podcasts, and they're not having to worry about how it sounds and how it looks, I guess, on the video. They give great, really good insights into their views of the game, and they're a little bit more, I guess you could say, off the cuff in the way they say things. And I think Clash Bashing is really good from that perspective. It gives a lot of great insight into how the game works, and the parts of the game that people maybe should think about in a slightly different way and not just think negatively on. So I think he's really, really good.
Like,
But they're there to they're there to get views, right? So of course they're going to give the easiest strategies or the best ways to get 3 stars. And I guess my point is that people watch that, and if that's the only way they play the game, I do feel that then you're missing out on the fact that it's a strategy game, and you're meant to learn things yourself. You're meant to understand how to be strategic when you play. That is the point of the game. Um,
yeah, and
and
like
so
in
so that's maybe
adapting,
been my major takeaway
and
in
it's
the
not a
last
rule,
year.
and it's not a rule, right? Like
No, of
that's
course not.
I
No,
felt like that in the
no,
past. Like, oh, you have to do it this way, or if it's like this, or
no.
um, that's the metas are there to be
Everyone,
invented.
everyone, exactly. Everyone should play the game that they want to, and I think it's always important when people add that caveat. It's, you
Yeah,
don't have to strategically rush. You don't have to max. You don't have to go for the 3 star. You can go for the safe 2 star. You don't have to want to be the best player for war, or etc. etc. But
yeah. If you look at
I,
the roster in L, every person plays different. Every person has like a
oh
different
yeah.
preference. Different. They
Yeah.
like
Actually, I don't
different
know why I'm saying, yeah,
YouTubers. They
I'm not
like
in L.
what? Oh, what's that?
No,
Oh, but
no,
you
I was just saying I'm not in L anymore. So
he's
yeah,
booted to
I got I
L2.
got
No,
uh
just
I
kidding.
got booted to
I
L2.
know,
Never made
just
myself
kidding.
back. I never got back on the roster anymore. I'm not good enough anymore.
You were
Yeah,
on the
being my
L2 roster, weren't you?
oh yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I've been on the L2 roster.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I thought that's what you
I love that. Sorry, I should try and say that. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Of course, I'm on L2. No,
were.
no. I've been doing it in L2, and I've really enjoyed it as well. Because it's like you said, I think we talked about earlier. I find L2 a little bit more. Is it that it's more casual? I think I find the level easier to play 18 now. So I can play 18 at the Masters 3 level. We'll have to see how Masters 2 goes this month, because we've got promoted last month. But Masters 3 was fine. It like I said, it doesn't matter that I can't see everything on the screen. I can pretty much get away with it. Pretty much
Just
get
point me
away
in the
with
right
it.
direction.
Exactly. And Clan War League, I find easier than normal attacks because you have the time to prepare, right? So
Yeah.
I can always figure out where everything is. So it's different. Whereas ranked battle, where you've got the 30 seconds, that's where I'm struggling with. I think at Town Hall 18 the most, and being able to get things to work consistently. Therefore, it's been very hard for me.
Yeah.
But no,
Quick little.
I've been doing okay and doing okay in L2. So it's
Yeah,
going good.
and
And
everybody just runs things like everybody likes different things. They like every player is unique. You know what I mean? Like if you look
oh
down the
yeah,
list, there's not one even the strategies that people take, they adapt to their own. So they take like,
they
oh,
do.
shocks, and then they
Yeah,
do this or they do, so don't get boxed in.
yeah, and
That's the
no, exactly. I mean, except for Warpig, I feel like Warpig just copies whatever's popular. He was like Mr.
wait,
Dragon for ages, and now he's what Golems again, or he's Fireball now, or I don't know.
I don't
Whatever the
remember the
popular
last time
YouTubers say.
whenever he gets off his mountain.
Yeah,
Jeez.
exactly. Yeah, when he gets off the mountain. Well, if he gets off, I
If
mean, he was drunkenly sending us messages on Discord today, so I have my fears for the poor guy getting down off the icy mountain.
a topless war
Hopefully, he'll
pig.
be all right though.
A topless war pig. No.
Oh God, can you imagine? Jeez,
Well,
scary, scary thought there.
should we wrap up? We're about for a little over 2 hours.
It's oh Jesus, are we? Yeah, sounds about right. For
That's
a me and
perfectly
you
fine.
podcast.
Yeah.
No, yeah, let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. Yeah,
You got shout outs?
sounds good. Um, a few, yeah. I mean, first of all, to you, obviously, for having me back on again.
Oh, I'm
It's
happy you
always
came.
nice to come and chat. Yeah, and a shout out to, I guess, anyone listening to the podcast who's had to put up with me rambling on for 2 hours.
No.
It's always a long one when the two of us record together. So
We could go
well
two
done,
more.
everyone that's still listening at this point. Um, no, a shout out. I don't know if he'll be listening, but a shout out to BD Legend if he is still listening to this podcast as well. Just congrats with his own one. Like I said, I've
Yeah,
listened to a couple of the episodes and given him a bit of feedback on what I thought of them as well.
that's
I
awesome.
tend to give him quite a bit of feedback for his videos and stuff. So, but his podcast is really good. So I would recommend people checking that one out as well.
And where do people find it?
Um, it's on Spotify, and it's called the Clash Creators Podcast.
That's why I couldn't find it. Okay.
Um, yeah, and it's
I'm excited.
like I said, it's
I was looking
BD.
for it to listen, and because I just heard about it, so I'm gonna go check it out.
Yeah, you should definitely give it a listen.
Oh yeah,
It's
for sure.
because it's a lot of different creators as well, and it's creators that do different types of videos, and they've got slightly different perspectives as well. I think that's pretty cool to listen to.
Oh yeah,
So
for
yeah,
sure.
shout out to him, and shout out to Terminator as well, who he does the podcast with, as well as the other guests. Um,
Shout out to
for
them.
other shout outs,
Consumer of their content.
yeah, exactly. And he should be a consumer still of your content, hopefully. Fingers
Hopefully,
crossed.
I did see him on
As for
stream, but
the other ones, just the guys in L2. Maybe
yeah,
the guys in L2. I'd like to shout them out. Just good luck for the CWL. By the time you hear this, we'll be probably on day 4, I would imagine, or day
yeah,
3.
day
Good luck.
3.
Good luck to everyone with the Duke.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
luck with it.
hopefully everyone will have picked up the Duke attacks in the next few days, and we should see that working out well. So yeah, I think that's probably it from me.
I'm gonna shout out.
Yourself?
I'm gonna shout out, and I'll probably forget others, so I'll add next time to this. But shout out to the CFF Family Double Trouble event that's going on in Clash. Darth Yoda and others are running it. Trample Damage is sponsoring a prize pool. So big shout out to those guys. And I didn't know if you knew, but Trample was on. You said you listened to that. He made that Unbreakable achievement, which is wild that they just took away. By the way,
Oh, really?
yeah, he got the 5,000 defenses.
Wow.
And then they took it away, and I was like, I said in the chat, I'd give him a standing ovation if I could. That is an achievement, for sure.
That is an achievement.
And I was,
Though,
oh
though,
sorry,
didn't you find it? Can I just say, didn't you find it sort of strange? Because did you notice that when the update came, when you logged in, of course, then everyone who had more than 500 defenses, of course, then got the gems, right? So that was
yeah,
kind of a nice surprise
yeah,
because of I think I didn't realize that it had changed, and then when I logged in after the update, and then it was suddenly there was the alert with
there
the
was.
that oh okay, and
Well,
then you click on it, it's like, and I thought, oh wow,
it
I didn't know
happened.
I'd had so many defenses,
I
and
never
it's like, oh,
thought
I
the
only
day
had
would
needed
come.
500 now. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Exactly. It was like the one out of reach that I'll never ever get to get, and now hey, got it
and,
without even trying. It was brilliant.
and I heard
Sorry
about
to
it. I knew it
trample.
was coming because it was because I listened, and this is another shout out to the RTC guys, and uh, I went to the live podcast recording. It's on Sundays when they record. You find their information um, on that, but it was a fun experience to go to. Uh, I would have thought I kind of messaged Rick before, but I said it was I messaged him and said it's a different experience than when you're just listening to it on the radio, because you're kind of around people and then people are chatting while things are going on. It was a real fun interactive experience. So I'd highly recommend
Yeah.
checking that out. Um, I definitely will. I mean, I caught the end of the one before, and I caught a lot of this last one, and I told him it kind of felt akin to like when we record a little bit, like just
Yeah.
that atmosphere,
Would
which was unanticipated,
yeah.
I guess. So shout out to those guys
Would
over
you
there.
ever do it?
Well, I
Do you
said to
think you would
him,
ever
I definitely would. The only thing is, I don't know how they do that. Like there's so much going on, um, and like and Liam is helping, the chat, and people are in the chat and doing stuff. But for me, I think like it would have to be like I can't really pay attention to the chat. It's like I get so distracted. Um,
yeah.
but I was like, this is really cool. It'd be really fun to do for sure. But it'd be, there'd be some work to do it. But for sure after
Yeah.
being there, I was like, yeah, that's a worthwhile kind of experience to have fun with. And then when you get to listen to it again, it's just I don't know. I just think it's pretty cool. Um, so yeah, big
Uh,
shout out to those
I think
guys.
it's oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. And just a quick side apology. I think I said RTS like 4 times instead of RTC in the last 2 hours. So
Oh,
yeah,
I can.
I do listen to the podcast. I do know the name, but
I'll just
I think I said RTS a few
I'll
times.
just put in there like a robot voice. This is RTC
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah, see that exactly. Just try and find every single moment. Yeah. That
uh,
see that now that would be that I approve. You can change my voice with AI to correct for the
just a
my
robot.
inability to say the name right.
I do that all the time.
Exactly.
Shout out to House of L, other podcasts, other creators out there. Um, you can tell even like in the L Discord how much we rely on content and how engaging it is. Um, Supercell for like, I thought the door thing was really cool because it encouraged clan communication. Shout out to you again for being here. It's fun, and we shout out to all you listeners out there. And until next time, I guess you can get a hold of us at clashofclanspodcast@gmail.com or clashofclanspodcast.com. Until next time, keep it clashy, everybody.
Keep it clashy.
Skilly beep boop, skilly